Well, everybody, what a way to end pre-season. Manchester United beat Fiorentina, Snapdragon Cup champion winners, and ultimately a very, very good game. I was actually at the game. It was a very impressive game by some players, but ultimately I think we did do a very, very good job. I think it's a great way to end pre-season with a win, with the trophy. And yeah, we move from here. I think there were some standout performances, as there always was. There were some performances which lacked quality, but again, I think the players the good players played good, and the bad players play how they usually do. I think going into the game, I didn't expect much. Obviously, we got the Sesko unveiling before, which was very, very nice to see. We got the De Gea comeback as well, which was also nice to see him get applauded by the fans. And also, it was just a very, very good game. The performance put in from the team, again, sloppy, good at times. There was nice bits of play between Cunha, Bruno, Ahmad, and Mbuemo, looked very, very good. But again, I think that midfield's a problem. And I think that's something Amorim needs to address as soon as he possibly can, really. I think the midfield lacks tempo, intensity, balance. More importantly, quality. I think Baleba would be perfect to slot into that midfield now. Another player who I thought impressed today defensively was Lenny Yoro. I thought Aiden Heaven did well. Hopefully he's not injured. And listen, we end pre-season with not one defeat, a few draws, or one draw in there, a lot of good performances, a lot of standout names who did well. And I think what we're starting to see is that improvement. And again, Sesko being unveiled, I think Amorim talked about how we did miss that striker presence, but which again was interesting because he did have Højlund on the bench and didn't decide to use him, so that's the indication that he wants to sell him. I think the midfield's a big issue though. I think Bruno did well today, and I thought mainly when he came on did well, but I think Casemiro position and Ugarte in the 10 minutes that he got didn't look the sharpest either. So we do need a midfielder. I think that's pretty obvious, pretty clear, to be honest. In terms of other players that did well, I thought Bayinda made some good saves. I thought in possession we looked good. That right hand side and left hand side in particular. Cunha driving with the ball as well was fantastic. Ahmad as well. In midfield, again, I talked about that. It needs just a Baleba type, someone who can transform that midfield and make it look very, very sharp and intense. Because we just lack that energy. We did give the ball away sloppily. I mean, the goal we conceded, very, very sloppy goal from a corner. But then the goal that we scored was also a decent goal from a corner as well. So all in all, very, very happy with how pre-season's gone. This was probably towards the more boring side of it, but there were some entertaining games in there. We've seen Cunha, we've seen Mbuemo, we've seen Sesko being unveiled, we've seen Diego Leon, we've seen a lot of young players get opportunities. I think today someone who had another stellar performance was Dorgu. Thought he was pretty sharp in possession, out possession. He just looks very, very technically fit. We're starting to see relationships form. I thought Mbuemo delivery is outstanding. 4 out of 4 crosses, accurate in 45 minutes is insane. And again, he's slowly setting into the team. Obviously, Sesko is that striker presence that we need, because we were getting into good positions, but we just couldn't put the ball into the box. And there was never that striker position in the box really for us to score. Fiorentina as well, they passed the ball around quite well as well. But all in all, very, very happy with the performance. I thought Manchester United did very, very well, and Amorim should be happy with it. He talked about, again, we still need more intensity, we need quality. That's going to come with time. Now that pre-season has ended, we have to think about, are we ready for the Arsenal game? If I'm going to be honest, which I am going to be, I don't think we are. I think we do need a midfielder, which we're not going to get in. Sesko isn't going to start, but it's somewhere, and it's a place that we need to be. But yeah, Manchester United beat Fiorentina on penalties. The pens were good, to be fair. I thought Bruno looked very, very sharp, some of the flicks that he was doing. I just think we need that partner next to him, which hopefully will be Baleba or someone else. Adam Wharton, someone with that level of quality just to hold down the midfield. But yeah, all in all, I think the quality that we showed, the intensity lacked, but yeah, I think standout players for me today were Yoro. I thought he was very, very sharp. I thought Aiden Heaven was good. I thought Mbuemo was good, Cunha was good, and Bruno as well. I think what we've seen today from the team as well, especially picked by Amorim, that will probably be the team that starts against Arsenal next week, maybe barring a few changes. I don't think Sesko will come in. I think with Lenny Yoro on that side, with Aiden Heaven going off, you could see a change there. But that's really about, and obviously Onana maybe might come in goal, but I think large parts of it, maybe like 8 or 9 out of the 11 will be the same. But yeah, I'm very, very happy. I think seeing Mason Mount in the 9 was very interesting and very telling, because the fact that we had Højlund there, Amorim is basically saying that he doesn't want to use him. And we've seen this happen with kind of other players before, when like they're not really wanting, the manager just won't use them. And I think that's something that Amorim is doing and is going to do with Højlund. The fact that Man United want to get him sold and we bought in Sesko does show that United want to get rid of Højlund. But yeah, in terms of key takeaways, midfield needs a lot of work. I think the midfield is very, very open, and I don't know how we're going to survive the season with that midfield. I think defence looks pretty sharp across the whole back five, especially with the changes as well. I think attack, again, is starting to pick up a little bit. It's interesting to see when Xerxes and Cole will be, but Xerxes will be back, because we don't know when his injury is. He hasn't played a minute in pre-season. We've obviously got Sesko, so yeah, all in all, very, very happy. But that rounds up pre-season. We'll be back next week with obviously the pre-season kind of rundown. And yeah, we'll talk about some other things as well, Arsenal preview and all that stuff. Thanks for watching.